Up to our final race of the day, one eagerly anticipated. It's been a day that's had its share of upsets and surprises, even shocks. Does that bode well for this man, Michael Johnson? He always tends to get right to business. He'll need to, the way things have gone for some others today.
Well, there's no doubt it might send a signal to some people's minds that the untouchable are touchable here at the Olympic trials. Anything can happen. But Michael Johnson looked so good yesterday, just burning the turn, eased up a little bit at the finish, but ran 19.70. Only a wind over the allowable limit, a wind of 2.7 meters per second, erased what would have been a world record.
And boy, is that a focus look or what? Meanwhile, down in lane one, Carl Lewis. That's right, lane one. And no one has ever broken 20 seconds from lane one.
And I think if the wind behaves, it's going to take a race at around 20 seconds or faster to make the Olympic team. I give Carl Lewis credit for showing up. Once he drew lane one, he might have easily just said, hey, I've got that long jump to contest. Maybe I should go home. He's got a tough assignment. He's a tall man. Lane one is a very, very tough lane. It's a tight turn. Hard for him to do it.
Men's 200-meter final. One is Carl Lewis, already on his 5th Olympic team in the long jump. 200 gold medalist in Los Angeles, silver in Seoul, but a test for the nearly 35-year-old down in lane one. Whitted, this year's ACC champion from North Carolina State. In lane 3, Ramon Clay. He could surprise and make the team. Lifetime best 20.12 in the first round, a windy 19.99 in the semis. Lane 4, Mike Marsh, second in the 100 last week, an underappreciated champion who won the 200 gold in Barcelona. Lane 5 is Michael Johnson, hoping not only to be the first man to complete the Olympic 200-400 double, but hoping to erase the memory of '92 when food poisoning cost him a 200 medal in Barcelona. He's won 20 straight 200 finals. Lane 6, Jeff Williams, the 30-year-old Californian who's looked great, won the bronze at the World Championships last year. Lane 7 is Kevin Little, second to Michael Johnson at last year's U.S. Championships. And in lane 8 is Floyd Hurd, back in 1986, ranked #1 in the world, but some lean years since 1991.
This really is an incredible field, but the toughest opponent for Michael Johnson might well be this wind gauge. For a certain period of time during the race, the wind gauge runs. It measures the time in meters per second. 2.0 meters per second is legal. That's 4.47 miles per hour.
The Atlanta Constitution had some fun with their headlines. One of them said, "Gone with the Wind," appropriate for this city for Michael Johnson's near record yesterday. And they're underway, and Michael Johnson is taking it out early. Johnson is blazing as they come through the turn and approach the top of the home straightaway. Michael Johnson is there. Mike Marsh, Jeff Williams, Carl Lewis down in lane 1. Through the final meters, Michael Johnson wins it. Tight for second.
19.66.
And it is.
Wait for the win. And it's a legal win.
World record. The march on Atlanta has begun.
The oldest record in track and field, Pietro Minea established it in 1979. Almost 17 years old.
And there's Carl Lewis with a congratulatory handshake as the man, Michael Johnson. The wind got him yesterday. Take that. 19.66 with a legal win. And he's going to stand in front of that time. Can't see him for all the photographers. There you go. It was very tight for the next 2 spots to qualify. We think Mike Marsh got second and Jeff Williams third, leaving Carl Lewis off the list of qualifiers. We'll wait for the official photo to be sure, but Michael Johnson setting the world record. We think Marsh second and Williams third. That's the way I saw it as they crossed the line. Let's check it out right here.
Johnson just ran an incredible turn. If anything, better than yesterday. The race essentially was over when he made his transition to the straightaway. No letting up this time. He ran all the way through the tape. Now, Marsh in the middle of the screen in the light blue seems to be repelling the charge of Lewis all the way on the inside. Williams and then Ramon Clay on the other side. Williams, who says he's the best finisher in track and field. Well, that's not exactly true when Michael Johnson's around. Looks like he gets up for second with Marsh in third.
And Carl Lewis on the inside lane. Might have been fourth or fifth.
Looks like Clay was fourth, so
right.
Lewis in fifth
place. So Carl Lewis must be content to go to the Olympics in the long jump. But meanwhile, the man has been promising a world record. He wins his 21st straight 200 final and does it with a flourish in world record time. Tantalized us yesterday. The wind nullified it, so he made sure today, breaking the oldest world record in track. Michael Johnson, 19.66. And his bid for Olympic history is gathering steam as we speak. Now his every move will be chronicled between today and the beginning of the track and field competition at the Olympics, when he hopes to become the first man to win the 200 and 400 at the same games. His coach Clyde Hart.
Hart recruited him just to go to Baylor to fill out their relay team. Never won a state championship in the state of Texas. Hart thought he would be relay fodder. Now he's a world outdoor record holder.
Let's listen to the crowd take him along. Wow, he is the man. Michael Johnson. We'll talk to him when we return. Michael Johnson has just blasted his way to a world record. Look at his reaction when he sees the clock. Yes! 19.66, and the win this time is legal. Well, I'm under no illusions that Chris Collinsworth could match strides with Michael Johnson, but somehow he's caught up with him. Chris?
Michael, congratulations. The win got you yesterday, but not today.
I feel great. I got to thank God, my coach Clyde Hart, my family, everybody for supporting me, my agent Brad Hunt. It was a rough week. It was a lot of races on a very short time, but I came through with the help of God, my family, and my agent, my coach.
Were you going for the world record right from the start?
I was going for the win first. I came around the curve, got a good curve, and I felt like I was in control of the race, and at that point I started going for the record.
Is the double possible now? You've seen it here in the Olympic trials. Can you get it done in the Olympic Games?
With the support that I've got, I feel confident that I can come in here in a month from now, do the same thing, and hopefully get that 400 world record as well.
Congratulations. It was incredible.
All right, thanks. Hey, Adrian, Ariel, Trey, DeAndre.
Tom.
Chris, Michael Johnson's 8th race of these Olympic trials proved to be the best of all. Michael Johnson, you think he doesn't command your attention? Michael Johnson with a world record, 19.66. Jeff Williams and Mike Marsh get the other 2 spots on the U.S. Olympic 200-meter team, with Carl Lewis finishing 5th. So a rousing end to these Olympic trials for 1996. It's been a series of trials that have had its share of surprises, including Gwen Torrance finishing 4th in the 200, but she can still manage this reaction to Michael Johnson's world record. A good sprinter appreciates another. Michael Johnson ending these trials with a flourish. The Olympic trials that saw many 30-somethings get an encore on the Olympic stage. But these trials, and maybe the games too, belong to this man, Michael Johnson. Now let's go back to Bob Costas. Bob?
Okay, Tom, thanks a lot. Wow, what a way to end the weekend. So quickly, by way of review, the biggest stories in today's competition, obviously Michael Johnson, the world record in winning the 200-meter final, eclipsing a 17-year-old mark.